Dr. Phil absolutely obliterated Joe Behar live on The View, and she got pissed. You guys are not going to want to miss this.
Take out everybody that has any of those characteristics, then you're going to take out a lot of people, including some at this table.
That look on Joy's face is a telltale sign that she knows Dr. Phil is calling her out.
So,
do y'all need a minute?
no, that's all right.
No, she's got to ask you this question.
Yeah, I
She's
got to
been
ask
burning.
you this because though they can't diagnose anybody, you know, from afar, somebody they haven't examined, doctors, therapists, a lot of respected psychologists out there, really big-time, big names, are saying that Donald Trump is showing signs of narcissism, which, by the way, one of the symptoms is preoccupied with the fantasies of unlimited power, success, and brilliance. And they're questioning that he has narcissistic disorder. Number one, do you think that's a mental illness, narcissism? And if so, is he fit to be president?
Well, Counselor, that's a compound question, and I object. But, you know, people talk about narcissism, but they don't really know what it means. So I brought a list from the DSM-5 about what narcissism really is, because if I asked people to stand up and define it, they wouldn't know.
All right.
And let's just take a vote. One, has a grandiose sense of self-importance.
Check.
Check. Okay.
Next.
Two, is preoccupied with fantasies of success, power, or brilliance, which you said. Check. Okay. Three, believes that he or she is special or unique.
Check.
Can only be understood by special people. Four, requires excessive admiration.
Oh, check, 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 check.
Has a sense of entitlement, which means is very thin-skinned. If you're
Oh,
entitled,
check, 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 check.
is interpersonally exploitive.
Oh, yeah.
Lacks empathy, has the inability to stand in other people's shoes and understand.
You mean like when he makes fun of people who are handicapped or
I'm just
disabled?
reading it. You interpret it however you want. Is often envious of others or believes that others are envious of him or her. Shows arrogant and haughty behavior.
Case
How
closed.
many people does that? That's a lot of people.
Well, that is a lot of people, and if you take out everybody that has any of those characteristics, then you're going to take out a lot of people, including some at this table. Things that we go through.
You wouldn't look at President Obama and say he has narcissistic disorder, so you can't just say they all have it.
I didn't
Some
say they
people
all
have
it.
all the things you said.
Right.
We just checked every one of them.
I said most leaders. Most leaders are under a lot of stress and pressure.
Yeah.
So a lot of them will show anxiety, depression at different times. A lot of leaders will have some affliction at different times because of the pressure and demands of the office.
Does Joy Behar even try to be impartial? Watching this, you can see the hatred for Donald Trump seething through her body. Her Trump derangement syndrome is completely out of control. Dr. Phil is just coming at it straight as day. He's trying to read the definition of narcissism and then see if you feel the exact same way. Before she even lets him finish his sentence and define what a narcissist is, she's jumping in. Like, relax. I'm not going anywhere. You don't need to constantly interrupt me. We get it. You don't like Donald Trump.
For Trump, but I think she was really checking them off for herself. The women of this view are so caught up in trying to make Donald Trump out to be a bad guy that they would never shine light on any of the good that he does.
Let me tell you something about Donald Trump. Let me tell you something about Donald Trump. Donald Trump is one of the most generous people you'll ever meet. He does all kinds of things that people have no idea about. And by the way, if he were selfish, he'd take his money and tell all of us to go F ourselves based upon the way this country has treated him. This guy got shot.
About him
Don't tell me he's selfish.
Are absolute fools.
No, let me tell you something. Donald Trump is the only one who moved the embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. He's the only one who got the Abraham Accord.
Why aren't Jews voting for him?
Okay, I'm not going to fight with you anymore, Jessica. But I know the man, and the facts rely and belie anything you say.
I just want to know if the story is true or not. You were traveling to Atlantic City, and your limo broke down. Husband and wife pulled up behind, and the husband basically said, I'm going to help him out. So he helped out the limousine, and a week later, the husband and wife received the deed to their house paid off. Was that a true story?
It's true. It's true.
It's awesome.
He gave you a check? He gave you a $10,000 check? Yeah, he ended up, well, after I met him, it was just, so I started walking in the white tent, and they all started clapping, and I felt God's presence in there. I really did, and, you know, and Donald Trump is the most genuine, humble, caring person I've ever met in my life, and I owe everything to him. You know, he did a lot for my dad, who's battling cancer, and I don't ever know how to repay him, but...
what did he do for your dad?
He turned around and said, take care of him, and then he leaned over and said, write him a check for $10,000. And
sometimes I think that he does it because he realizes that he can. He just walks into a politically fraught situation. This has, you know, the politics of abortion, life, health care, everything. And he just walks in and says, you know what, I want to help that kid.
Pretty much very famous and had lots of money, would be interested in saving a poor Georgia farmer to help save his family farm that's been in his family for hundreds of years. What it meant to us going to New York to meet Donald Trump was a celebration. We met at breakfast to go over raising enough money to save most of the farm, and so we were there for like a burning of the deed ceremony.
Could only be talking about Donald Trump. Thank you, Mr. Trump, for joining us this morning.
Hiya, Dan.
I have heard that you are worth something like $3 billion, but to read your book, The Art of the Deal, you don't care to count exactly how much you're worth, do you?
Well, I don't know what I'm worth. I know that from the standpoint of the book, I've done a book. The charities go to, the money all goes to charity that we're making from the book. The book has become a tremendous success, which I'm happy to say, and it's something that makes a lot of charities very happy, too, because, as I said, the money goes to charity, so I'm very happy about it.
I think this is the kind of thing that people love to fantasize about, because you're unquestionably one of the most successful men in the country, if not the world, and also one of the wealthiest. So, give us a figure that we might ponder here.
You'll never get it out of me, David. You'll never get it out of me. You'll try, but you'll never get it. Let's get something like how we're going to become more successful. Let's talk about that.
I read something this afternoon that said in the bank right now you have $500 million in cash. In cash. Is that a fair?
Which paper did you read that in?
Well, I can't divulge those sources.
You have to give me the newspaper.
No, just tell me, is that not true, or is that close? Am I nuts here?
Well, I don't know. You have to tell me where you got that, David. This is a very unusual interview, folks.
You won't put a figure, just an imaginary figure?
Never would.
$1 billion. You're worth $1 billion?
Perhaps.
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 Perhaps. Are we the low side of perhaps or the high side?
And I've
you
done
have
a good
really
job.
got the world by the ass, don't you?
No, I don't know. I work hard. I work hard. Like you, I work.
After watching those clips, who do you think embodies narcissism more? Joy Behar, Whoopi Goldberg, and these people at The View? Or Donald Trump? You can tell that Trump is a very humble man. He's not out here to flex his wealth on anybody. He's all about, how do I create more wealth? He's never happy and content where he is. He always thinks he could do better and do more. That's why he's the perfect man to lead our country. Because he's never going to be happy with one success for America, two successes. He wants success after success after success. He wants to put us on the path to prosperity. Do you want some random Republican politician like Ted Cruz? Or do you want Donald Trump, the man who wrote The Art of the Deal? But it just saddens me watching The View because these people dedicate their whole personality to hating Donald Trump. But every single time I watch a clip, it's just them seething full of hate for Donald Trump. When Trump, he's a good guy. He'll give somebody $10,000 and he'll give it on the sly. He doesn't want the publicity about it. He wants to improve people's lives. Do you think Joy Behar, Whoopi Goldberg, or any of those women would ever do something like that? Do you think that Donald Trump is actually a narcissist? And also, let me know, other than Donald Trump, who do you think would be the perfect person to lead this country? Trump, would it be Elon Musk, J.D. Vance? Let me know. I'd love to know your opinions. And yeah, if you enjoyed, make sure to smash that like, comment, subscribe, and wish you guys nothing but the best. Until next time.